All right, hello everyone. My name is Daniel, and I'm an older brother of Jabin, and I'll be hosting this class for today because Jabin is a little busy. So nice to meet you all. And today's lesson is a very interesting lesson. We will be going over dream and job. So let's begin. So my so the key question for today is, what do you want to be? A dream is something you hope to do or become. Everyone's dream is different, and that's okay. And because dreams are fuel of your future, dreams always make your life more exciting and fun. So let's think and talk together about this dream. So my question is, first, what are you good at? Anyone want to answer?
Football. Football.
Football. Mm. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good example. So, if you're good at football, then you can also find any dreams or something that's related to football as well. And my next question is, what do you enjoy? Anyone want to answer? It can be anything that you're having fun. Like, what do you have fun? You don't need to be good at it. You can just like it. Like, I like cooking. I like playing football. I like running. I like math. And another question that I also want to ask is, this is very important, and this is the main question of today as well. What kind of job would you like to do one day? So this one, I want to ask you everyone, I want to ask every single one of you, like, what kind of job would you like to do one day? Like, it means, what do you want to be in the future? Like, when you go to, like, when you finish your school, what is your dream? What do you want to be? And this is the key question that we'll be discussing over and over for today. So take a moment to think about your dream and think about the job that you want to do.
Engineering.
Engineer, that's a really good
Yeah.
that's a good example of the job, and we will be going over that as well in the later slides. But yes, engineer is one of the good example of a job that if you're interested in any kind of engineering, math, or physics, then you will be that's gonna be your dream job, and I can give you some recommendations later in the slide. So yeah, thanks for answering the questions. Anyone else wants to share the job? What kind of job you want to be?
Pilot.
Pilot. That's a good one. I also included that on the slide. And yes, that's another dream that many people want to be because, you can travel and you can fly a plane. That's amazing. So yes, thank you for sharing again. Um, Anyone else? Last person?
Hello.
Hello,
Hello?
I want to be a footballer.
Oh, football player. So,
Footballer.
footballer?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. So yes, that's also like a good example. If especially if you like sports, then that's also a potential dream that you can think about. There are many job opportunities regarding that as well. So yes, we will be going deep into that like as we go on this presentation. All right, so let's watch a quick video. Uh, this is the video about what like actual successful people do, like those people who were being successful and have a good job. This is like what the habit of successful people, like what they regularly do. So let's watch a short video.
Habits of successful people. The key to success. Have you ever wondered why some people are successful and others are not? Various studies have shown that those people that are successful often have a set of good habits. Habits. What are they? A habit is a behavior or action that we do regularly without much thought. Habits can be either good or bad. How do we form habits? A habit is formed through regular or long term repetition of a behavior until it becomes automatic. When we form bad habits, it harms or hurts us. On the other hand, when we form good habits, it helps us achieve success. Which good habits lead to success? There are a lot of good habits out there that can help you be successful. Nonetheless, there are 9 habits that most all successful people tend to have. Self discipline. This is the most important habit of the 9 listed. In order for people to develop good habits and break bad habits, discipline is vital. The habit of setting goals is a huge part of success. Setting goals consistently leads to important accomplishments. Those that are successful have the habit of taking personal responsibility. In order to grow and to learn from your mistakes, you must take personal responsibility. Persistence. Being successful also takes a habit of persistence. Being persistent is needed to overcome the many challenges and obstacles we face in life. Another important habit to develop is being a lifetime learner. Successful people spend time each day learning or on self improvement. Using time wisely. This is another habit that successful people have. Time is a valuable resource. Successful people learn to manage and use their time wisely. Successful people also have the habit of building healthy relationships. Healthy relationships provide us with necessary support and inspiration. Let's not forget about the habit of personal care. This is where it's important that you take care of your body and mind. Successful people make personal care a priority. Positive attitude. This is the final habit that you should develop to help you be successful. People who maintain a positive attitude are able to better deal with challenges. Keep in mind, a positive attitude will lead to positive outcomes. The saying is true. Successful people are just normal people like yourself with good habits. Forming these 9 good habits is not easy. It does require commitment, persistence, and hard work. though the hard work cannot be avoided, it will pay off because building good habits creates success.
Okay, so now we watched the video. We will be talking about how to what like important habits are and what are the good habits that will make you a successful person. So as the video described, habits are daily behaviors and what you do regularly. It can be anything that maybe like one of your habits can be like eating regularly, waking up early, waking up late, coming to class early, something like that that you do regularly. So let's talk about some good habits. One of the good habit is, like in the video mentioned, self-discipline. So it's a very hard English word, but it means controlling yourself. So it's important to control by yourself whether you do something or not. And it is quite a fundamental, which is the most important part of your habit. So make sure to keep that in mind. And another important thing is set goals. Setting goals always help. If you have a goal, let's say if you want to become let's say if you want to become an engineer, that's your ultimate goal. So if you set the goal as I want to be an engineer, and you need to work hard to get to your goal step by step. You don't have to have a single goal. You can have multiple. You can have, oh, I want to be good at math. I want to become successful, and I want to become an engineer. You can have multiple dreams or multiple goals. And third important habit is personal responsibility. So the responsibility is when you're like responsible, it's you have to do it because you're told to do so. So I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of what responsibility is. Like your student responsibility is coming to the class. So personal responsibility is in order to get to your set goal, you have to have your own responsibility to do so. Next is persistence. You should never give up because even if you fail, that doesn't mean you're not going to be successful. You always remember not to give up and try until you become successful. Maybe becoming successful is not what you think. Sometimes your plan fail. However, that is okay. I also failed multiple times, but I never gave up to reach my goal. So you never know, never give up. Another habit that I would like to talk about is lifetime learner. That is self-improvement. Everyone has weakness. We cannot be good at everything. So for that reason, there is something called self-improvement. You can improve yourself by trying another like alternatives. You can try let's say practice more math questions to improve on math because you want to do better on math exam. And another habit that I want to talk about is using your time wisely. So how many hours does a day have? 24 hours. Looks a lot, but it's limited. You have to use your time wisely to get to your goal and become successful. don't delay, like don't procrastinate, like, oh, I'm too lazy. I'm not going to do it right now. I'll do it later. That's not a good habit. If you have to do it, always try to do it as soon as possible because time is limited. Finally, positive attitude. Always think positively. This goes with never giving up. You always think positive and always think a good side of your dream. Because if you feel negative, that will likely make you fail. So always having positive attitude is important. So now let's talk about the goals. How can we set a goal? So I'll show you like quick video and we can go to the next part of the slide.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
Thanks for stopping by. This is 2 Minute Classroom, and today we're talking about setting goals using the SMART method. Goal setting is a great activity anytime, but is especially popular around New Year's, at the start of the school year, and the beginning of sports season. I would love to hear some of your goals in the comments, and I'll put some of mine in the description below. SMART is an acronym that stands for specific.
Can everyone hear the video? Just 1 second.
Specific, measurable. This is 2 Minute Classroom, and today we're talking about setting goals using the SMART method. Goal setting is a great activity anytime, but is especially popular around New Year's, at the start of the school year, and the beginning of sports season. I would love to hear some of your goals in the comments, and I'll put some of mine in the description below. SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. We'll go through each of these using the example goal of doing well on your next exam, a common goal for students. The first step is to make the goal specific. Doing well on your next exam is not specific. Try to answer the questions of what, when, and why. Let's specify your what as scoring at least 90% on your next science exam. For the when, it'll be whenever the exam is. Let's say it's in 4 weeks. The why is very important, as this is your motivation for the goal and something you can look back on if you get discouraged. It could be to improve your grade in the course, to score higher than a friend, or because you want to get into a great university. Whatever will motivate you to keep working on the goal. So now we have a much more specific goal. Score at least 90% on the next science exam 4 weeks from now to help you get into a great university. This goal is looking great, but we're not done yet. The next step is to make sure the goal is measurable. That means there are some metrics attached to the goal to let you know if you reach your goal or not. Looking back at our goal, we see that it is to score at least 90%. This is very measurable, and once you've taken the test and received a score, you will know whether or not you hit the goal. This is why doing well in your next exam is a poor goal. It is not measurable, and there is no clear way to define success or failure. The next step is to check whether the goal is achievable or not. In this step, you want to break the goal down and answer the question of how you will achieve this goal. What do you need to do in the next 4 weeks to get at least 90% on the exam? Some examples may include taking notes in class, spending 30 minutes 3 nights per week studying for the exam, and partnering with a friend a week before the exam to review notes and go through a study guide. The point is, you need a plan. Break the goal down into smaller goals that all feed up to the main goal. This will give you a clear path to success. The fourth step is to ensure the goal is relevant. And this step is more of a gut check to see if it fits well with your life right now. Ask yourself the following questions. Does this goal align with my long-term objectives? Does it keep me on track with other goals in my life? Will focusing on this goal pull me away from other more important goals? After thinking through this step, you should feel confident your goal is relevant and be even more motivated to achieve it. Scoring at least 90% on your next science exam is relevant because it will give you confidence in school and feed into larger goals around future education and career. The last step is to make the goal time-bound. A time-bound deadline acts as a target and helps you work backwards and set smaller steps to get there. If you set a fitness goal to do 100 consecutive push-ups but don't set a deadline to reach that goal, then it probably won't happen. Hitting a certain score on an exam is time-bound by default because there is a specific date for the exam, which allows us to break the goal into smaller steps leading up to the exam. And here's a bonus tip. If you truly want to reach your goals, then you have to write them down and look at them often. I recommend keeping a daily or weekly planner to track your progress. I put some excellent planner recommendations in the description that will help you make your goals a reality. Remember to share your goals in the comments. I'll read and respond to as many of them as I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.
Switch to Chrome to load.
So based on the video, we have 5 different important aspects of goals. So I'll always be specific, specify your goal. Always make the goal measurable. So it can be measured by value. It also needs to be achievable, which is it has to be doable. So make it into smaller goals. It also needs to be relevant. So smaller goals has to be relevant to the big goal that you want to pursue. Like if you want to become a soccer player, another relevant goal is I will practice soccer every 30 minutes for a day. And time bound, always have a clear deadline. I want to become if you have like practice soccer for 30 minutes, then your deadline is every day. By every day, you'll play soccer time. So yeah, what I really want to tell you for this lecture is you can do it and never give up. If you work hard, you can always do whatever you want to do. So now let's talk about the job. This is a fun part. A job is a work that people do to earn money. There are thousands, hundreds of jobs in the world. And people choose jobs based on their skills, interests, and goals. And your dream can become your job in the future. So let's talk about the job fields like specifically step by step. So one example is medical field. So as you can see from the picture, we have medical doctor, we have a nurse here, dentist, and pharmacist. So, interesting careers in medicine, there are like several. Like another example is physical therapist, where you'll be giving a therapy. Laboratory assistant, where you'll be doing the lab, just like this picture. You'll be doing some medical related experiments with the professor. Nutritionist, emergency medical technician. So this is also very similar to the doctor, but you will be going to the site. You'll be driving ambulance, or you'll be taking care of sick people immediately. Radiologic technologist. It's someone like this. You will be taking care of the medical device that's related to the radiology. Medical receptionist and midwife. So I'll give you like a quick video about the medicine as well.
The field of health science is one of the fastest growing career fields in the world. Health science encompasses hundreds of different careers, including many you may not have thought about as being typical medical careers. Along with critical thinking, health science careers combine science, technology, engineering, and math every day on the job to solve problems and help our community to stay healthy. Let's start out with the most well-known health science careers. Typically, when one thinks of health science, doctors, nurses, and dentists immediately come to mind. Whether it's a private practice office or a hospital setting, these professionals are vital to patient care. Nurses can be registered nurses or licensed practical nurses. Doctors rely increasingly on professionals such as physician's assistants and nurse practitioners and case managers to help manage patient care. And there are numerous medical specialty fields like pediatrics, internal medicine, or dermatology, to name only a few.
In my opinion, the medical field, there's no better job to do. It's satisfying. You feel like you've accomplished something by the end of the day and maybe made a difference in one or two people's lives every day. And it's financially sound. And if you like working with people and getting to know people, this is a great field to be in.
A dentist's office also offers a variety of careers, from dentist to dental hygienist, dental assistant to insurance and billing positions. You can even specialize.
I always wanted a profession where I could help people, and I've always enjoyed playing and working with kids, and it's fun to teach kids how to take care of their teeth.
Doctors and nurses rely on a variety of diagnostic and therapeutic services to help their patients get well. People who have been in accidents or have disabling conditions are often referred to physical therapists for help. The high-tech field of radiology needs radiology doctors, physician's assistants, and radiology technologists. In addition, you can even specialize in musculoskeletal radiology or interventional radiology.
So in any given day, I might do things that pertain to gastroenterology, to orthopedics, to oncology, nephrology, urology, and so on and so forth. So it's not just sitting and reading x-rays. I get to do a lot of procedures as well, interventional procedures. And it's that spectrum that makes every single day a joy and a challenge.
Another essential diagnostic service is the hospital laboratory. Medical laboratory assistants, technicians, and technologists work with a variety of laboratory equipment to analyze fluid and skin samples.
The laboratory is an important portion of the team in a hospital. We provide valuable information such as lab results in which the doctor can make decisions, as well as nursing staff and respiratory care and people in the OR are making decisions on the results in which we're giving out to those people.
Pharmacists and pharmacy technicians dispense prescription medication to patients and provide information about the drugs their doctors have ordered for them. Hospitals, drugstores, nursing homes, and outpatient clinics all have need of pharmaceutical services. Love to fly? You can combine that with a medical career. In-flight nurses, paramedics, and emergency medical service helicopter pilots respond to emergency situations such as accidents or strokes and move very critical patients from smaller facilities to larger hospitals.
The biggest reward for my job is actually being able to help a person, being able to pick them up at a scene or a hospital where they're not doing well. These are all very critical patients. And being able to use my skills, my partner's skills, our combined knowledge, and deliver that patient to a higher level of care in better shape than we met them. And occasionally getting follow-up on the patient to know that what we did actually made a difference and saved a life.
The field of health
All right, so those were the some fun careers in medicine. So if you're interested in those fields, you should pursue your career in medical field. Now let's talk about teaching. So teaching is just, as you can see, you can become a teacher, just like any other teachers in your school. So there are so many education or teaching job opportunities, including it can be anything, like high school teacher, middle school, elementary school teacher, just like your teacher in your classroom, or it can be like any librarian, education reporter, preschool teacher, physical education teacher, or college professor. Or you can be also like a coach. Like if you're good at like anything, like you can be a soccer coach, you can be football coach, you can also teach math, so on and so forth. So this field is very diverse and there are a lot of job opportunities. So aviation. So a lot of people want, I heard like many people want to become a pilot or flight attendant. So aviation jobs is not just, it's not limited to just flying the plane. You can be the pilot, co-pilot, first officer, flight attendant, or you can be an aircraft technician, or you can be the air traffic controller, where you can control the aircrafts that are flying around. And you can also be an airport staff or airline staff, where you'll be working for the airline. So, I'll show you a quick video about the aviation.
Living with opioid addiction can be a struggle. Supplicate with Counseling is for adults with moderate.
When you see an airplane taking off or in the sky, what do you think about? Going somewhere for vacation? How about traveling for business? Every year worldwide, more than 4 billion passengers take flight on commercial aircraft. In fact, experts predict there will be more than 8 billion air travelers a year by 2037. What does it take to move all those passengers through airports around the world? A lot of people, millions in fact, all working together in a wide variety of different jobs. Pilots are one of the most visible and important jobs. There's a big need for more pilots and air traffic controllers too. They work in the air traffic control tower and also use radar and high-tech equipment to direct traffic in the sky.
What we do for the aviation industry is make sure that the flying public is safe.
So, who is responsible for operations on the ground? Airport operations. Operations duty officers are all about safety and security. They keep the airport running so flights can arrive and depart as planned.
We're operators, so we know how to do it all.
Operations duty officers are on the front line and get to see everything up close. They are especially busy during snowstorms. Even when the weather is good, the airfield maintenance crews have a lot of work to do. Mowing grass, changing out bulbs on the airfield lighting, and making sure everything is in good working order. Sometimes things don't go as planned on an airfield. That's when the aircraft rescue firefighting crews respond. These crews are just like firefighters in the city, but with special training for aircraft incidents.
It feels good to know that you're able to help somebody when they're having the worst day of their life.
Law enforcement officers and security specialists work closely with airport operations and constantly monitor the airport to ensure that everyone stays safe. Look around at any airport and you'll probably see a construction project. Airport project managers, planners, and various consulting firms design and manage complex and interesting projects. Larger projects can last several years and cost more than $1 billion.
So we pay attention to a lot of things like ozone and carbon emissions and safety to make sure that the next generation can still fly.
Whether you work right at the airport, in the control tower, or support ongoing projects and airport needs as a consultant, you are critical to the success of the airport every day. Have you thought about a career in aviation? Careers at airlines and airports are fast-paced, pay well, and are open to everyone. Airlines and airports support over 20 million jobs in the United States alone.
And I can promise you one thing, if you're in aviation, it's going to be an exciting career.
To learn more about how many options you have with a career in aviation, contact your local airport or aviation school. Make the call right now and get started.
So before I talk about some more job opportunities in aviation, do you guys have any questions that you want to ask? Because I know some of you want to become a pilot. So I would be happy to answer any questions if you have.
No. No.
Okay, well, I will explain some aviation careers first, and you guys can answer if you have any other questions. So I'll keep going. So Ghana is planning to construct the first ever first-class pilot training school in West Africa. So now they are planning to build the flight training program. So President John Mahama says the government is considering a proposal to use the whole airport as the first-class pilot training school for West Africa. So someday you will have a chance to train as a pilot at a flight school in Ghana. But for now, becoming a pilot is very exciting and rewarding a career pair, but it costs a lot. You have to pay a lot to become a pilot. Thankfully, there are many ways to fund your pilot training. Those opportunities are very highly competitive. So you should demonstrate your strong academic performance, English skills, and your genuine passion. So remember, English is very important, and you also need to do very well at school, and you have to have a passion. So one of the good example is airline cadet program. Many airlines offer fully or partially sponsors cadet program, where candidates receive training in exchange for a future work commitment. If you get into a cadet program, you don't need to pay for the tuition. And some of the airlines, such as Qatar Airways, Emirates, Singapore Airlines, and Cathay Pacific Airlines, they have structured sponsorship programs. If you get into this program, even if you're an international student, such as even if you're coming from other countries such as Ghana, they will still cover the cost of flight school. So you don't need to pay anything to get trained. If you get in, you become a pilot without any cost. It is very competitive, however. So if you want to get into this program, you have to do very well at school and also improve your English skills to get into this program. But again, if you don't consider the cadet program because it's sometimes very competitive, there are student loans for pilot training. So you can get some money from the bank or anything, and you can get a specific loan to become a pilot. There's also aviation-specific grants. Some companies like 99s and the Royal Air National Security Society, they give you the financial aid. So they sometimes pay for your school tuition. Military training programs. So you can go to the military and train to become a pilot because there are aircrafts in military as well. So you can potentially apply for the program and fly those aircrafts. And there are also like low-cost flight training alternatives, such as some countries like Ethiopia and South Africa have well-structured training program at lower cost. Currently, we don't have one in Ghana, but the president is proposing. So in the future, there might be. However, those countries like South Africa or Ethiopia, they accept the applicants around everywhere. So you can apply, and it is cheaper compared to other countries. And another way is crowdfunding and sponsorships. So if you have GoFundMe, you can ask any people around the world to help you. So this is the section for pilot and aviation job. So do you guys have any questions regarding this? So engineering and science. So I know some people want to become an engineer. So one example is a scientist. Scientist is a person who studies how things work in nature, world, or universe. They do experiments, observation, and learn how things to help people understand the world. Let's watch a quick video.
Today, let's learn about scientists. Who are scientists and what do they do? Scientists are like curious detectives. They love figuring out how things work. They explore, discover, and share their findings with people like you and me. There are many types of scientists. Why don't we learn about some? Some scientists study living things. They are called biologists. And marine biologists focus on creatures that live in the water. Scientists who study fossils of plants and animals are called paleontologists. Do you know what a fossil is? A fossil is like a puzzle piece from the past. It's the remains or traces of plants or animals that lived a long time ago. These fossils help scientists learn about the history of the Earth and the creatures that used to live here, like dinosaurs. Computer scientists program and design computers. They use computers to help solve problems. Archaeologists dig into the past, just like paleontologists, except they don't study fossils. They instead study human-made artifacts, like tools, art, and buildings, to learn about ancient cultures and how people lived a long time ago. Do you ever wonder about the sky and planets? Scientists who study space are called astronomers. Geologists study rocks and other physical features on Earth in order to learn about the history of the Earth. Geologists also help to predict earthquakes and other natural hazards. What about scientists who study plants and flowers? They are called botanists. Scientists who study animals are called zoologists. They study how animals eat and live. Anthropologists are scientists who explore human beings and their cultures. What about a scientist who studies the weather? This is called a meteorologist. A chemist studies chemical elements, like oxygen. An entomologist studies insects. Do you have a favorite insect? I like ladybugs. Scientists have very important jobs, and they help us to learn so much about our history and our surroundings. They solve problems and can even help predict what might happen, like a hurricane or a severe flu season. Scientists are a very important part of our world. And guess what? If you want to, someday you could be a scientist. Scientists have to go to school to earn a degree in the field they want to work in, but you can start learning about science now and can even practice your own science experiments at home, with an adult's help and supervision, of course. Science is fun and exciting. Which type of scientist would you be if you could choose? Great choice. Well, kids, I hope you had fun learning about scientists today. See you next time for a fun learning adventure. Bye now!
Hey there, Brenda.
Another example of scientist and science-related field is engineer. Engineer is a person who solves the problems and builds things that help people. It can be anything like building, roads, bridge, or any infrastructures that you can see. Engineers use math, science, and creativity to design such things that I mentioned. And it can be also a small thing like machine or computers, or even like small materials in your classroom. So various types of engineering exist. So let's watch a little quick video about the engineering.
Did you know that the International Space Station weighs almost 1 million pounds and travels at 17,500 miles per hour around the Earth? That's amazing! Did you ever wonder who thinks of something like that and then builds it? Well, the answer is engineers. Engineers develop things people use and rely on to live, work, and play. Just about everything you see and touch has been designed by an engineer. Engineering is a science. And as scientists, engineers need to understand the natural world and then use scientific knowledge to create, design, and construct things that help people and solve problems. Technology is the name for things that engineers make. The modern world would not survive without technology. Almost every moment of our lives, we are surrounded by the work of engineers. There are different types of engineering. When people think of engineering, civil engineering is likely the first thing that comes to mind. These are the buildings, roads, bridges, dams, and waterways that connect people and make up our infrastructure. All of those buildings are planned and built with the help of civil engineers. Mechanical engineering is the branch of engineering that deals with the design, construction, and use of machines. Working with shafts, gears, wheels, and levers, mechanical engineers can change the form of energy or motion from one type to another. They use simple machines like pulleys and levers to solve complex problems. Mechanical engineering makes cars, planes, robots, and many other modern conveniences possible. Electrical engineering began with the invention of the telegraph, the telephone, and the light bulb. They were the first simple electrical systems. Today, electrical engineering is at the very center of every kind of technology we use, from computers and TVs to smartphones. Electrical engineers also play a key role in designing and implementing electrical systems for solar power generation. Electrical engineering is probably the most important part of the modern world. It's hard to picture a world without electronics and energy. Chemical engineers apply chemistry and physics to develop equipment and methods for making all kinds of products. Things like fuels, soaps, fertilizers, and medicines are just some of the products developed by chemical engineers. Chemical engineers also work to solve environmental problems. Part of their job is to develop new materials from sustainable sources, generate clean energy, and find ways to clean up our air and water supplies. Chemical engineers touch every part of our lives. Civil, mechanical, electrical, and chemical engineering has helped to shape our world. Maybe you'll become an engineer and use your scientific knowledge to invent things that help people and solve problems.
This brilliant device keeps your home
So as the video described, civil engineers, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and chemical engineering are for important engineering fields, and so on and so forth. There are multiple ways to explore an engineering field. So I know many of you guys are interested in the engineering field. So if you have any questions at the end of the lecture, please let me know, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Sportsman. Now, many of you guys want to play sports, especially football. So there are many ways to get engaged. Although it's competitive, there are ways to become a sports player. So how to become a football player? So to play football as a job, you need to participate in school interzonal tournaments or local district competitions or cult leagues. Those are the three options that you can really try out. And those are those opportunities where you can get scouted. So obviously the first part to achieve your dream is practice a lot. Practice when you can. And once you practice and get better, you participate in tournaments or competitions. And after that, you can get scouts. Scouts often attend these events to find people who are good at it. So if you do well in those competitions, the scouts will say, oh, this person is good. I will select this person to play soccer in our team, play football in our team. So it's very important, and it's critical to attend these tournaments. Another chance of getting in is attend an open trial. Teams have the open trial where you can actually go to the place and show your skills in front of the coach. So open trial is Right to Dream holds open trial across Ghana. So Right to Dream is the open trial name, especially in the cities like Accra, Kumasi, and Koforidua. These are free, open to anyone, so you can attend anytime. To join a trial, contact the Right to Dream. So the phone number is here, and website is this website. So over 30,000 young people apply, but around 20 people are selected every 2 years. If you were accepted, again, you get a full scholarship. You don't need to pay anything. This covers tuition, boarding, meals, football training, equipment, medical care, and school uniforms. So if you get in, this is fantastic. And obviously, becoming a football player is a wonderful dream. But the reality, it's not that easy. So this is the reason why it's important to work hard, not only at football, but also at your studies, and to develop other talents and interests so you can prepare for many different paths. So remember when I said the failure, and I said never give up and always think positive. Never give up doesn't mean that if you fail, you're done. That's not the thing. Keep trying. Maybe soccer, maybe instead of football, you can do better at something else. So even if you face failure, never give up. Having the mindset to keep looking for new opportunities is most valuable thing of all. So it's very hard. So even if you don't get into that team, that's okay. You can find alternative ways, different ways to achieve your goal or dream. So always remember, never give up. This is another great career, career in law. So a judge is a person who leads the court and makes fair decisions when people have legal problems. So let's say one of you had a fight with your friend, and judge will be the person who will say, oh, you will get punished for this reason. So not in the school, but in when you become an adult, you might get into the conflict or even involved in like some accidents. So judge is the person who makes the judgment to punish person or to help someone to recover from the damage. Lawyer is someone who helps people understand the law and solve legal problems. Lawyers are the people who are going to be helping you. So the judge makes the decision. Lawyer is helping you. So that's a key difference. And lawyer's on your side. So that person is helping you. It's like a helper. The lawyer, before becoming a judge, you also need to have a lawyer license. So becoming a lawyer is the first step, even if you want to become a lawyer or if you want to become a judge. You have to think clearly. You have to speak well. You have to be good at writing. You have to be good at listening. And you have to have a research skills. So learning computers and know how to find the information on the internet is very important. There are many types of lawyers. Criminal lawyers, when someone commits a crime, they help. Corporate lawyers, family lawyers, bankruptcy lawyers, tax lawyers, those are very general. Like those are specific, family related, tax related, or if someone runs out of money, that lawyer can help. And immigration lawyer, contract lawyer, real estate lawyer, employment lawyer. So these ones, like I said, those are the types. You don't need to know them right now. But there are many lawyers that deals with specific issue. So just keep that in mind. And the next part is media and journalism. A journalist is a general term of someone who works in the news industry. Those people who are like broadcasting or like showing, oh, there's a news on the TV. They research, write, edit, or present news stories. They can work as a reporter, editor, writer, or producer. Reporter is one example of the journalist. Their job is to go out to the place, gather information, or do an interview, and report the news to other people. They often appear on TV, or they often write articles, or speak on the radio. Let's watch a quick video regarding this.
Good morning. I'm Emily Lampa, and this is a day in the life of a reporter.
All right, I'm here in the Channel 2 parking lot. So this is really a behind-the-scenes look at what we do here. The garage. So this, my home away from home. It gets a little hectic from here on out.
I contacted the Erie County Commissioner of Health. They're trying to change the vaccine laws so that religion can't be used as an exemption, so you have to have a medical reason to not have your kids vaccinated. They're calling us for the meeting.
All right, morning everybody.
We don't have any confirmed cases in Western New York. I already set up an interview. She said she's available at 11, and it's a very tight window. So if
This is for Bernstein.
for Bernstein. The reason why she wants to talk now is because she's worried what this legislation will do. Will it affect Western New York? She's going to speak to that. So I have my assignment. Now is the time to start making phone calls and making my story happen. Hey, Kara.
You're still coming at 11 o'clock?
I am. And now, in my process of getting ready, this is when I start to put on my face, get my hair done. So you get to watch me do my makeup. It really is a run and gun process. You know, that's a term that a lot of us use because we are moving and constantly engaged in the process. The Rath building where we're going to be doing our interview is literally down the street, so just a couple minute drive. Princess shotgun. Make way for all the red. It's a wave of red. Hi.
Yeah, no worries.
We're talking about vaccines. 8 days left in legislative session. Are you concerned?
Can ensure that our children are up to date with their immunizations.
Thank you. We just left the county building, interview with Dr. Burstein over. Also put in a call to see if we can get an update from Assemblyman Robin Schimminger. Kim, it's Emily. Do you think Assemblyman Schimminger will be available?
Now it's time to log video and pick sound bites out. I have 5 hours to get the story logged, written, tracked, and edited and ready for the news. So wish me luck. What a lot of people don't realize is that the same people who are actually turning the packages are writing the web stories too. I'm copying it over and now I have to just format it so that it matches what we need for the website. So it's now 3 o'clock. I have to go into the tracking booth and voice this for my story so that the editor can start working on it. 3, 2, 1.
So far this year, there are already more than 1,000 confirmed cases of measles in the U.S.
They had given me 1 minute and 45 seconds to tell the story. We eventually came to the compromise and it ended up being about 2 minutes.
All right, 5:30, here we go.
Right now on Channel 2 News at 5:30.
Health leaders are concerned.
What could this mean for New York?
It can mean a continued escalation.
Emily Lampa, Channel 2 News. And that's it, a day in the life of a reporter. It's a lot of work in a little bit of time, but we obviously do it because we love it. And back at it again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
So this is like the general lifetime of the reporter. So if you become a reporter, this is what you'll be doing in an everyday basis. And another job opportunities that I would like to introduce is police officers and military. So police, you might have seen them before. They keep the country safe by making sure everyone follows the law. So if you become a police, you'll be the person making the country safe and making sure that people following the law. Military is another way to make the country safe. They support and defend the countries against any enemies. So if you become a military member, you'll be defending your country from other countries or other threats. And public servants is another example. So firefighters, for example, they control and put out fires. They also work for citizens' lives. So when there's like a fire or an emergency situation, if you become a firefighter, you'll be going to that site and dealing with that, which you might save a lot of people. Beauty industry. Now, this is like an example of those people who are interested in arts primarily, because barbers, hairstylists, makeup artists, they help the customers to look better. And this is like an art. You can make someone more handsome, beautiful, obviously, by doing a makeup or cutting the hair. So this is a perfect job opportunities for those who are interested in art. And some of them get paid well. So learning hair and beauty skills, it requires some steps. So there's something called NVTI, National Vocational Training Institute. This is government-supported institute with courses including hairdressing and cosmetology, providing the national certification after exams. And this is the website. And there's entry requirement to NVTI is BEC certificate with the pass in mathematics, general studies, and English. And you also have to finish the middle school. So you have to show these skills and you have to pass mathematics, English, and BEC certificate. So even so, you have to be good at math and English, remember. And the institute operates 30 nights, 38 vocal centers dotted all over the country, training the youth in some 28 skills area. So there's so many ways, there's so many skill areas that they will be teaching. So you can choose, and there are opportunities available like many places. Another way to get involved is TVET College, Technical Vocational Education and Training. So if you go to the university or college, you can find these opportunities and get a job after that. And there are also some private beauty schools that you can attend. So if you get certified, you can work in the beauty salons. You can be from the small neighborhood salons, like very local, or in the high-end professional salons in the main cities such as Accra and Kumasi. You can also work in a hotel or spas in the tourist area. The beauty therapists, nail technicians, so on and so forth. They're the ones who typically paid more. Self-employment. You can get a store. You can open your own salon. That's also possible. Fashion and event industry. You can do the wedding makeup, styling for photo shoots, and work for those related companies. And finally, one exciting part, you can work abroad. Ghanaians with experience and proper documents can work in other African countries, Middle East, United Kingdom, or United States. Fashion industry is another way. It's very similar, but it's not the same. Fashion model is a person who wears clothes, accessories, or makeup to show them to others for photos or runaway. Fashion designer is another job opportunity in fashion industry. It is someone who creates new clothes, shoes, or accessories. So if you get into these job positions, you can design the clothing and you can invent anything that you want regarding this field. And another one is vocational jobs. Those are the ones that you'll be like doing in a daily basis. So plumbers, in a toilet, you work to make the toilet flow better. And if there's like any clogs, you can work to fix that. So there's like the people who are experts in the restrooms or pipeline. House painters. You can paint your house, paint someone's house. And whenever people request and offer you a payment, you will go and paint the house. Electricians are the ones who work for the electricity. So if there's like a problem in electricity, these people these people will be called, they'll get paid, and they'll fix the problem. Driver. If you get a driver's license, you can also become a driver and drive a bus, taxi, or anything that's trucks or anything that's related to driving. So the drivers also get paid, obviously. And if you like driving, you can consider this career. So the training for the technicians and vocational education training in Ghana it's quite also like open to anyone. It's education training programs that focus on practical and skill-based learning in fields like constructions, plumbing, carpentry, electrical work, agriculture, cosmetology, catering, welding, fashion design, and so on and so forth. Again, public TVET institutions, the one that I mentioned, the college or any related schools, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. So if you do well in the school, you can get into these schools, TVET, and get a job to make money. Another good example of the service area is hotel managers. They're responsible for the daily operations of the hotel, including staff management, customer service, so on and so forth. So if you work for the hotel, you'll be at the front desk, assisting other people or assisting the customers. Customer service representative is another like related field where people help customers when they have a question, problem, or need help with any product or service. So they'll be usually on the phone or sometimes on site and answering any questions that people have. Wedding planner, obviously many people get married, so they support the couples and the families with planning a successful wedding. This includes, but not limited to, planning where it's going to be held, foods, decorations, clothing, or plans in general. So this is like another good another great opportunity in this like related field. And the tour guide is generally targeting the tourists and planning and leading the tour, providing information, and also communicating with the visitors. So this is like showing around. This is all another opportunities for the vocational field. Chef. A lot of people know who the chef is because if you're really interested in cooking, you can become a chef. NVTI also offers an intensive programs regarding cooking. And there's also a College of Culinary Arts and Hospitality Management. So this is the school that you would like to go if you're interested in cooking and if you want to pursue a job that's related to this field. Prime School of Hospitality and Culinary Arts is another example. So there are many opportunities and you can go to schools that are related to become a chef. And also it's free. NVTI is free, so make sure to consider this program whenever it's possible if you would like to become a chef. Other two programs, College of Culinary Arts and Prime School of Hospitality, those are not free, but again, they also offer a great program, so you can also consider those options. You can also work with the animals. You can become a zookeeper, where in the zoo, there are like a lot of animals, and you will be taking care of them. That's one example. Animal trainer, you will be training the animals. So this is also like very similar to a zookeeper. Veterinarians, those are the animal doctors. When animals are sick, they also go to the hospital. So your job here is to treating the pets, include not limited to the dogs or cats, any animals. Salesperson, those are people who actually sell, like those people actually sell something. So if you go to the market or if you go to buy a car, they're people who will be selling the cars or products. So those are the good example of the salesperson. You'll be getting paid for advocating or selling the product. Insurance salespeople. So the insurance, if you've not heard of it, it's the case where when someone actually gets into like incident, or if you need a medical treatments, the insurance helps to pay for that bill because sometimes it's very expensive. So insurance pays for that. And in return, before they get into or after they get into the accident, they have to pay regularly. So that's an insurance. And insurance is also selling. So insurance, you can buy insurance. So, which means there should be someone who's sale. So you can help other people to buy the insurance or protect their money, health, or property in case something bad happens. So you'll be dealing with the insurance and you'll be selling that if you become insurance salespeople. Product salespeople, as I mentioned, any products such as not limited to the cars, but it can be anything like phone, anything related to school or books, so on and so forth. Real estate salesperson. So they're like the realtors. They sell the properties, homes, and buildings. So if you want to buy a house in the future, there will be someone who will be showing the house. And they show the homes to the buyers, talk about the price, location, and help with the paperwork and rules. And this person always get paid by those who buy the house. So keep that in mind. Artist. If you're into the art, alternative way of considering the beauty salon or chef is musician and dancer. You will be performing. If you're good at the art, like such as like instruments, you'll become a musician and host a show or concert in front of everyone. So once you do that, you'll get paid by the entrance fee, or those who will pay you. Dancer, the same way. If you're good at dancing, you should consider this career path. And the artists also have, a lot of other opportunities. Sculptor, like you can make him sculpture. Painter, you paint. Actor, actress, you show up in the movie or in the video and act. Producer, you'll be producing the movie. So you'll be in charge of like the scenes and how you can do the angles in the camera and the publication itself. Obviously, all these opportunities get paid. Like if you get the job opportunities in this following related field, you will get paid. In a similar way, content creator, someone makes helpful videos or interesting things to share online, such as YouTube, TikTok, podcast. So you can be a YouTuber. That's also like the ways to make some money as well. Photographer who takes a picture. It's not only just like capturing the special moments, but you can also get a job related to that, such as taking a photo, submitting for the journal, so that your picture can be posted online and viewed by a lot of people, and you can also get paid for that. So yes, that's it for today. And I've introduced a lot of job opportunities. It's a lot, but I wanted to show that there are so many job opportunities that are available. So if you have an interest or passion, try it, never give up, set your goal, and work hard to achieve your goal. Don't get scared about any failures, because I also personally experienced a lot of failures, and it shouldn't stop you, because you can find an alternative dream. And so that's it. And thank you for listening for a short lecture. And now I'm going to open the opportunities to answer any questions that you have for now.
Hi. Thank you, Arthur.
Thank you.
Let's go. Anything you don't understand, any job that
I'll wait for about a minute or two. If you have a question, just come up to the computer and ask the question because I cannot really hear anything. But otherwise, I'll wait for a couple minutes and after that, I'll let you go.
Okay. Hi. What about you? Can I ask you? Any question? No. No, please. No, please. Okay. Daniel, they want you to highlight more on the chef. Someone was asking about the chef, but they were thinking it's chief. Yes, chief and chef is a bit confusing to them, so you can have more highlights on that.
Chief. So, chef, the one that I CHEF. So the one that I just showed.
Are you listening?
Yes. Right.
So yes, the one that I talked about is chef. This is the person who's in charge of cooking. So those are like cooking restaurants, those are related, those are chef. And some people call this like mispronounce it by saying chief, but it's chef. CHEF is chef. There's another word, chief. That's a little different. That's a little different terminology, and that usually stands for like those who are in charge. It's like the leader. Chief, CHIEF, it's a very different word, and it's a leader. Especially in the company, those higher people are the chief. But if you're talking about the cooking, it's CHEF, so it's chef.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There's no question anymore.
All right. Sounds good. And then if that's the case, thank you for listening and hope this was helpful. And I will see
Thank you,
you
Pastor.
next Friday.
All right. All right. That will be next week.
All right. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yes.
Bye.